Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we have to talk 50-minute streams. 50 minutes stream.
I thought I thought we were doing 2 hours.
Nah, 50 minutes stream. We need to talk about this today. I swear. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that it's time for us to talk about this, man. Man, our head is hot. Today is the day I think we have to speak about the truth.
We have to.
Yeah? We have to speak about the issue at Manchester City.
Yeah.
Today, what we went through is to watch Man City go through 0-0 draw against the worst side in the Premier League. And I welcome Mateus to join me here. I joined Adam. Don't think, who's this prophet?
Here, one can run.
It's from the WhatsApp group.
Prophet is D.
Huh?
D on the WhatsApp.
Dylan. Oh, okay, I didn't see it. So I thought fair enough. And Adam here, and I think more people will join. I think, I don't know whether I start or guys, it's a disappointing game. Very disappointing game.
Hamza, disappointing is an understatement.
I just want to start first from the lineup. Let's start from beginning.
Hamza,
what did you guys think about
Hamza, you know what it is? From the lineup, I knew we were going to draw.
Daniel's coming.
There was concerns about the lineup. Well, I wasn't really much surprised. I said it last week. He's going to change the whole thing for the Southampton games, and the reason why he's going to do that is because he's thinking in the FA Cup final, and the reason why is because he got players that he trusts in the squad, and they haven't been playing much. So, well, we've got Southampton before the FA Cup games. There's not a better game for him but that's what he thought. There's not a better game than Southampton away, who was a crapping team, than to introduce the likes of Akanji, Foden, and Erling Haaland. And I said it on the space last week. That's the last time we're going to see Nick O'Reilly. Just after who we played, Wolves. Was it Wolves that we played?
Yeah, game? It was Wolves when he got hooked up.
Yeah, and I said it. That's the last time we're going to see Nick O'Reilly. So next week he's going to go back. He's going to bring Akanji back in the defense, and he's going to move Josko Vardy to the left back. And lo and behold, that's what he done.
But Mateus and Hamza, sorry to cut you off. Isn't this the same? Sorry.
Yeah, and just the lineup. Yeah, I don't know, because he knew when he came out on the press conference, the post-match press conference, and he said, "Oh, we didn't expect Southampton to play 11 men behind the ball or 11 men in the box." Well, that's a lie. What else did you expect? Southampton to go toe-to-toe with you, pressing you? That's a lie. You're lying there, because if we as the fans, we all knew that Southampton are going to sit deep. Most of the teams that we play against, especially the ones that look at the bottom of the table, they're going to sit deep and waiting to hit us on the counter. For you to come out and say, "Oh, I didn't expect Southampton to have 11 men in their own box or defending deep," that's a lie. And you went with McAtee, Foden, who we haven't seen Foden in a while, but you decided to bring them in. And you, one of our most informed players in that attacking threat, you dropped him. Why?
Were you not happy with that lineup there?
No, but you know it is, Hamza. You know it is. It's very simple, Mateus. You know what, to answer your question?
No, Hamza. Played left back.
Hamza and Mateus, it's simple to answer your question. You know what it is? is sentimental.
Hey,
That's what it is.
Back.
Because you know what it is, yeah. He has this attachment towards these senior players, but at the same time, at some point you've got to move away from these senior players.
But let me ask you a question. Is this not good enough lineup to beat the worst Premier League team of all time?
No, Hamza, don't get it twisted. This lineup should be beating them.
So what's the problem about this? I'm going to ask an uncomfortable conversation. Why should you be surprised when you've got players like Edison, Rico Lewis, Diaz, Akanji, Vadio, Kovacic, Bernardo Silva, Foden, De Bruyne, Haaland, and Makati against Ramsdale, Tewood Bellis, Bednarek, Stevens,
Hamza,
Breed,
I'll give you the simple answer. You know why?
Wellington.
Because we have a manager. No, Hamza, I'll give you the simple answer before I go quickly and I'll come back. Yeah. Simple answer. We have a manager that is concerned about control and transition. That's the issue, Hamza. And Daniele will probably say as well, Hamza, that's the issue. We have a manager that is too concerned about transition and control. Hamza, we came up against the second worst team in the Premier League history. Southampton have 11 points. 11 points. And Pep is worrying about transition and control against Southampton.
Yes,
And
but is there
and
no
Hamza
good
and
enough
Hamza
team?
and Hamza and Hamza and I'm supposed to be filled with confidence against Crystal Palace. But I'll come back.
I'm going to hear from also Prophet. Go on. I want to hear from your point of view. This is what I'm saying. Good enough to win. Go on, Prophet.
Perhaps maybe 2 seasons ago, but we have witnessed this season and we realize that lower table teams, mid-table teams, especially with this sort of slow lineup, has been giving us problems all season. Didn't Southampton or one of those teams turn up at the Etihad and we had to be hanging on for dear life to get a 1-0 win? So I am not quite sure why anybody is really surprised. It has boiled down to this. Pep has gone extra stubborn. He is continuing to trust players that have failed us. We're not guessing. We don't have to spell anything. We have the evidence. 1 win in 14, 15 losses in 30 plus games. Playing embarrassing football when the answers have been clear. We no longer have the legs. We have not been out technical by any team. They have not been playing any supreme football. All they have been doing is walking through the midfield. And he's so concerned about that. He has and playing this sort of sideways backwards football, right? Is to compensate for having the Bernardo Silvas and the Gundos in the team. So why are we surprised? For the past few weeks, we have been getting away with it. If we're being honest and not disingenuous, we have been getting away with results. Fine. This is arrogance. All we should have done, wrapped up to Southampton, pick a proper 11, get the 3 points on the board, and then worry about Crystal Palace next week.
And the most important thing was having a performance that encourages the fan looking, even the fans looking forward to the final. Just because you have you sound so mad, bro.
Your mic, Prophet. Can I say something?
Yeah, just Hamza, just because you.
I'll tell you a statistic that will shock you first. Once again, not Southampton. The worst team in history is considered Derby County. Yeah, I want to share the screen. Yeah. I'm gonna share this how disgraceful it is. Yeah. This is the worst ever team. Can you see it clearly?
No.
Can you see? Now, one second. Let me. I want to show you this team. This is the worst ever team. It's just uploading in Premier League history. Yeah? Derby County. Can you see? Look how many goals they conceded. 89 goals. Yes or no? Yeah? The team that couldn't score, we couldn't score any single goal, has conceded 82. 2 more games left. They might get worse goal. What's the name? The goals that they've conceded is probably because they're gonna play Arsenal. Arsenal score goals. Yeah? Arsenal got to play them, and I think they've got to play Everton. Both home and away games, both away games.
Yeah.
They might concede most goals conceded than the worst team of Derby County. They have drawn less games. Derby County had more draws than them. We gave them an extra draw. They've drawn 6 games. Derby County drew 8 games. They had drawn before this game 5 only draws. Yeah? They've lost 28 times. Conceded nearly the most goals ever in the Premier League history. This is the team we couldn't even score 1 goal. This is a disgrace. Don't ever defend this.
Well,
you see how it is?
Hamza, do you not find it really strange that every time we get into every time this season we try to get some momentum within the team, or we get a win, the very next game he all of a sudden changes. Let's look at the first half of the season. Remember when we slapped Nottingham Forest 3-0 at home? And he had Jack Grealish and KDB in midfield, Bernardo on the left, on the right, and Savio on the left. Yeah. The very next game, he decides to change the entire 11, and we dropped points. This season, I think it was Crystal Palace. We slapped him 5-1. Nico Gonzalez came, and I feel like every time we got into a good momentum of the season, if he all of a sudden just decided to change the whole lineup to bring their favourites back in the team. Why?
And that is true.
Why?
It's sentiment. It is sentiment.
Guardiola has been very comfortable at the defense as a centre back. Why are you changing him? You can see that Joshua Vardio, even today going forward, he doesn't offer much as he offered last season because he's not comfortable. Why is O'Reilly on the bench? Why is Akanji coming up to start? And let's not forget that Akanji nearly gave the ball away. On the last, I think the very last minute of the game. He's got that Bozo moment on him. It happened in the Champions League final. Edison made the save. It happened last season against Spurs. He gave the ball away to Song. Ortega saved him. And this season, we're going to the Emirates. They had the team talk in the dressing room. Yeah, they come out on the pitch. They had the team huddle. 18 seconds later, he gave the ball to fucking Odegaard. And they gave it to Kai Havertz. We lucky Kai Havertz was shit. Yeah. If that wasn't the 2 goalkeepers in the 3 moments I've just mentioned, in the 2 first moments I've just made, if that wasn't for the goalkeepers, Akanji's life at this football club would be very different.
Fact.
Champions League final. And league title. The 4 in a row. So, listen, if there's an offer at the door for him, cash in. Cash in. Get the money.
I've said it before, 100%. I agree with that.
Get the money. But the problem with Pep now, when I think was it Palace? Yeah, was it Palace? We won 5-2. The problem with Pep is that the Pep is facing the same problem as we as a fan base. We are emotionally attached to certain players. We cannot let it go. KDB got told that he needs to move. Yeah. The very next game he played really well. The fan base was like, "Oh, why didn't we offer KDB 1 more year?" Well, we need to move on some players. I get it. KDB is a club legend, but the decision has to be made whether he's playing well or not. Sorry, but we need to go into a different direction. Yeah, cool. I love KDB. Yeah, the club also told that Bernardo Silva told to Bernardo Silva himself that he needs to go, and I believe that they also told Gundo that if he doesn't play enough games to activate that contract, we might need to let him go. So as soon as the Bernardo Silva news dropped, Pep start playing him every single game, every single 90 minutes. Yeah. And at the same time, Gundogan start playing every single game, every single 90 minutes, apart from today. Maybe he's saving him up for the FA Cup final. So the club is willing to let go of these players, but the manager is also trying not to let go of all of them. The manager.
But let me ask you something. Let me ask, what went wrong today? Let me go through. Edison, he wasn't at fault. I don't think we can judge the keeper. Yeah.
Hamza, we could have been. What time is it now? It's 10 o'clock. We could have been playing up until now. We would never score a goal.
Absolutely. I believe
that's not on the players.
Played all night and we never scored a goal, bro.
That's on the manager. Because
there was nothing going on.
Because we were doing the same thing from minute 1 to minute 90. The entire game, we were doing the same thing. What? Pass. Go on the wings, try to cross it. The defenders were clear. Go on the wing, try to cross it. The defenders will clear. We were doing the same thing. Yeah. And if your team is doing the same thing, if your players is doing the same, they're doing the same thing for the entire game, it's because they've been told to do so. Who does lie? Where does the blame lie to? The manager. Sorry, it's the manager. Whether people like it or not, he got it wrong with the team selection. He got it wrong to the approach because, let's face it, it's Southampton. There's no need to go that safe. There's no need to show a lot of precautions. There is no. It's Southampton, again, the worst team in the Premier League. Before the FA Cup final, what you need basically to do, bro, tell us, yeah, you go out there, express yourself, get a massive win, give us the lift up the fans so they can go look forward to the FA Cup final. Instead, we showed too much respect to a crap team. Yeah, we were scared to actually taking risks on the football pitch, and we drew the game. Now everyone is start questioning. Now at the back of every single fan's mind is, well, we played Crystal Palace at home. They were 2-0 up. They could have been easily 3-4-0 up. Yeah. And the brilliance of the KDB brought us back in the game. Crystal Palace might look at that game. Well, listen, they slapped us 5-2, but we can get at them. It's a final. So listen, the manager's got a lot of questions to ask. Yeah, and I back the manager. I like Pep, and I back him.
But let me ask you something.
Well, he's got a lot of questions to ask.
There's a lot of questions to ask. Do you think there's a major rebuild needed? This is a major rebuild now.
We need the heart surgery.
We're in trouble. I told you before.
We need the heart surgery.
People were thinking. I told you. I just saw. I tell you what. Wolves were escaped. They could have beaten us. You know Wolves that have beaten us at home. How many clear chances did they have?
Yeah.
How many clear chances did Aston Villa have? We won in the last minute. You guys will be covered up with this.
Yeah.
Southampton 0-0 is the best results to open the eyes and say, these are guys that are not good enough. I'm sorry. It's time to go. And I'm sorry. I need to make the conversation difficult. People like Foden have not done it. Yeah. I need to make it difficult for. If Phil Foden cannot deliver now, and we're not sure about his position, and he's the future, yeah, we have to now create a performance where we bring elite players to make sure these players are on their toes.
But we're not creating through the midfield.
I don't care about sore players to try and keep them happy. I don't care.
We're not creating through the midfield. We're going through the wings.
Where's got Nico Gonzalez? We signed Nico Gonzalez.
When when I say we need a heart surgery, we need surgery at the back, we need surgery in midfield, and we need surgery in the attack. Yeah, because we need the word. I feel like we need the proper winger.
Fact.
We need the goal scoring winger in there. Listen, the Dokus and the Savio, they good, but they're not ready now. Especially if you want to go to win the Champions League, for example. Yeah, you need players that opposition feel scared of them. Back in the day, we used to have Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez used to turn up and fucking PSG away. He used to batter them. Riyad Mahrez wasn't scared of them. Yeah, he used to go fucking Dortmund, slap them. Yeah, but now we've got players that every time we go fucking Brighton away or Southampton away, yeah, in front of goal, they're shitting themselves. They're shitting themselves. So we need attacking. We need class. We need quality in the attacking third. Yeah, and
We need
today,
attackers. We need attackers.
today the
Young-
way we played
young-
is today the way we played.
saying you need
Yeah, the way we played is just crossing the ball in the box, put some long crosses in there. Is because Erling Haaland was in there. So he basically, the manager abandoned, literally put everything that he was doing, building up until now with false nine, whatever, inverting, whatnot. As soon as the main man comes back, he had to change the way he plays because we need to feed him up top. We need to, because he's the main man. He's going to stay here for 10 years. So if you are looking into feeding the main man, and don't want to go with this false nine and whatever, then you need to bring quality around him. You need to. And Rodri, the problem with Foden at the moment is that I don't think he was particularly bad today, but I don't think he was
I think everyone was bad. I think KDB is the only one that I could see trying. Kovacic,
Kovacic was good. Kovacic was good.
Kovacic and KDB, you can't cuss.
Yeah.
When Doku came on, he tried. But the rest were poor. The rest were each one of them. Diaz trying to pick up the goal. And then to try and blame Southampton for that, it's a disgrace.
I've seen a lot of people criticizing Doku on social media. I'm like, hold on a minute. The player is worse than Doku. Why is Bernardo Silva on the pitch for 90 minutes? Why can't you have a go at him? The reason why is because Bernardo Silva is the manager's favorite player. If you look at today, Bernardo Silva played in 3 positions at 3 different stages of the game. At the start of the game, he played in the deep role. Yeah. In the second half, he changed to the wing when Doku came on. He was on the right wing. And then in the last 15 minutes of the game, when Mamouche came on, he changed to right back. Why is Pep Guardiola so scared of a life at Manchester City Football Club without Bernardo Silva?
Yeah.
Why? Why is he scared?
No, is it? I think Pep. I've never been critical. Pep. I'm looking at the players. I think they're not good enough. I swear to God, they're not good enough.
Well, how many of our new signings that we signed?
Hamza, KDB was good. KDB
we signed 4 players in January. How many?
Where was Victor?
How many of them started today?
None.
Why?
What did I say to you? I said to you, the question is, was it panic buy? Was it panic buy? Uncomfortable conversation.
Benito Gonzalez was a board sign, not Pep sign.
Yeah.
Marbush the same, because Pep Guardiola told us. Pep Guardiola told us that Chicky came into his office and say we are signing this player, and he said himself, I didn't know much about the player, so I had to get in contact with my friends in Germany And then I told Chicky, yeah, cool. But the board had already made their mind up. With Nico, it's a bit weird considering we signed Nico with 3 days to go before the transfer window shut. He came against Leighton Orient. And Pep Guardiola came out and said, "Oh, he's like the mini Roger." He got injured in that, well, he wasn't a serious injury. So he got all his praise, mini Roger, but then we barely see him.
Let me ask you first, quick, before we go on those guys.
Gusanov. One second. I'm just going. Gusanov. He said
nowhere
to be seen. People keep making this excuse. Oh, he doesn't speak English. Aguero. When we signed Aguero,
Pep was made this
Aguero
for
never
him.
spoke.
Oh, Pep wants to play the same formation as before. Oh my God, Lala.
There's a lot of excuses.
We were crap at Wolves. Or crap at Aston Villa. We got a lucky win. It showed up. We were shameful worse against the worst Premier League side in history.
This language thing is a lot of excuses, Hamza. Because when we signed Aguero never spoke a word of English, and he was starting for the club every week in, week out, because it's quality. When you're quality, mate, football is a universal language. Yeah, you stop the goal going to your net, and you put the ball in the back of the net. Put the ball in the net of the opposition. If you as a defender, you clear out the danger, you defend, you put some tackles in. You don't need to speak with the referee. Yeah, you don't need to.
Let me ask you. I want to go back to uncomfortable conversation. Let's go out of 10. We have to rate these players today. We have to rate these players today out of 10. Because today we will review. Edison out of 10.
They didn't do anything really, did they?
Yeah, I think
I saw Edison once. That was it.
Robert, I'll send you the link. Out of 10, he didn't do anything, so we can't judge him. Do we all agree?
Just an average 5, really. Nothing really.
You all agree, Daniele, Prophet? Do we agree that?
Agree with what? We can give him whatever grade you want to give them. The story is this has been going on for quite a while. So the Southampton game is like many other games. The difference is we didn't get lucky with a goal today. That is just the difference. And I think we're glossing over the problem. Oh, we need better players. Yes, we need better players. But based on what we have, we know who is the problem and what is the problem.
Fact.
It's the manager. So why are we going around and coming around? Everything that was mentioned by yourself and Mateus leads back to the manager. Everybody knew as soon as the old players got returned, he was going to play them. If he's not willing to play the players that the board has signed, especially those that are coming in this summer, because I guarantee you, if Bernardo Silva and Gundo is still at the club, every big game, Liverpool, Arsenal, you name it, they're going to play. You're going to get the same results, and then we're going to get the same excuses. So it is simple. If Pep doesn't change up something, I know that person is afraid to say it, but if Pep doesn't change up how he's doing things and take a chance and play the younger players, it is simple. Whether I want to say Pep out or he needs to take a sabbatical or mutual agreement, I don't care what it is. Once Gundo and Bernardo is still at the club next season and they will be playing football and we don't get anything major, we just need to move on, Pep. It's just simple as that. Look, Pep's legacy cannot be destroyed. He has already done what he needed to do at City, put us on the map, multiple titles, but it has gone stale. So if next season we're seeing the same thing, it simply means it has gone stale and we need to move on, because how Pep is acting now, Pep is bigger than the club. Simple as that. Pep Guardiola is bigger than the club.
I think I put a tweet the day we signed Gundo. I put a tweet out and I asked a few City fans, what does you're happy to sign Ilkay Gundo, yeah? What does he what's going to happen with Phil Foden? And people say, oh, Phil Foden is going to be on the team. He's the player of the year. And I'd say, you don't know your own manager. There is more chance of me winning the lottery than Pep Guardiola ever bench Bernardo and Gundo? If
But
there is a
Gundogan
big
didn't
game,
play today.
if there
That's
is
the
a
problem.
big game, if there is a
We
big
keep
game, yeah.
running away
If there
from
is a
Gundogan.
big game,
Gundogan didn't play today.
no. If there
Why
is
are
a
we
big game,
focusing
no.
on Gundogan
I'm just
today?
saying. I'm
Gundogan
just
was
saying.
away.
No, it's
Gundogan
not. It's
was
not
playing
about.
on the.
No. It's not about Gundo.
No, but why, I want to focus on the players today. I want to go back to that.
Yeah. I'm gonna come back to this. Yeah.
I want to go back
If there
to
is a game,
players
no.
today.
Hamza, I'm gonna go back to your point. If there is a game, yeah, if one position, and Pep has the option to pick either between Bernardo, Foden, and Gundo, let's not pretend that Foden is the last person he ever come into his mind. So in today's game, if you go watch Bernardo Silva's press conference, Bernardo Silva interview, he done it a few weeks ago, last month, and he said in the treble season, he was telling about the treble season, and he said in the treble season there was a game where the manager called him to his office, and that was Arsenal away. And he said, that's what Bernardo Silva said. Pep told me that the guys that he's going to select, they are in a much better form than him in terms of Jack Grealish, Mahrez, Haaland, Gundo.
I know, but forget that. I want to go back to the game.
No. However,
because you're trying to run away from this Phil Foden.
I cannot leave you out.
People running away from Phil Foden having a shocker season, man. People don't want to criticize. I don't know why.
Why not?
Okay.
Why should we criticize Foden? Here's why I'm not criticizing Foden. Last season, where was Foden most effective? Was it central? I'm just asking. Was Foden effective central? That's where his best performances came last season. True or false? I just wonder.
The group chat. The link is
central.
I see it. Listen, 1 second. I know Pep is at fault, but the players on the pitch are not good enough to beat.
No, they know. Hamza, they're not good enough.
I want to know. Ruben, okay, 1 second. Let's just go out of 10. I want to see this. How much you're gonna rate? Rico Lewis out of 10. How much do you rate?
0. All of them 0. 0, 0, 0, 0.
So who was the only player I thought KDB and Kovacic were the only player that stood out for me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I thought before the game, Phil Foden's been given a chance. This is the game for you to prove it.
Chance where? I keep asking the City fans. All right, answer the question. Last season, where was Foden most effective? Since we're on Foden, where was he most effective last season when he won?
To the middle.
In the middle?
Yeah.
All right. So hold that thought. Hold on. In the middle, we're going to hold that thought. He performed well player of the season. He went to the Euros and he was farmed out on the wings by Southgate without any assistance on the wings. Killed him. True or false? I'm just asking simple questions. True or false?
True. Foden was playing from the left wing to come in the middle.
But he went to England, nothing happening there. He was farmed out on the wings. New season, we're looking for Foden to get the keys in the middle of the park, attacking wise. And what is the first thing that happened to Foden? He's back on wing duty without any support as usual. What the hell are we looking for from Foden on the wing? That's a Pep thing. What the hell are we looking for from Foden on the wing? If I'm saying this, if Foden is not playing central next season, he needs to put in a transfer request. Because having him out on the wings does not make any sense. The man has been there 7 years, from 17 until 24, and he cannot play regularly in the midfield. And when he does play regularly in the midfield, you see a difference. So I don't want to hear anything about Foden performance on the wings. If he's not playing central and doing madness centrally, then I have nothing to say about Foden.
Foden's never played he's played number 10. He's not showed it. I'm sorry about it. He's had a shocker this season. Foden has had a shock. Whether he likes it or not, Foden has been one of our worst players this season.
Where? Where has he been? Where has he had the shocker? What position?
Foden, shocker. Fact. KDB has been a better player than Foden this season. And KDB is leaving the football club. Bernardo has been better player than Phil Foden this year. And he's leaving the football club. People don't want to ask those kind of questions. I don't know why.
Well, we don't have to ask the question, Hamza. We know why Foden is not performing. we are at a stage where we are not playing the players in their best position to get the best out of them. Foden being farmed out on the wings need to stop. We're either going to play him central or just don't play him at all because we are wasting Foden on the wings. It is a waste of time, a waste of a play as far as I'm concerned. So we either do what is needed, put him where he can perform, or we just shut up about it. It's like Gavardia. Madness on left back. He cannot defend that left back properly. We have seen that
He's awful
first
at left back.
season and this season.
He's garbage at
He
left back.
played he played centre back. Lo and behold, he performs well. Well, gosh, when he was at Leipzig, what was he doing most of the time? That's why we bought him, a great centre back. But of course, the genius of Pep, and we won 4 in a row, so it glossed over all of the problems. People, it is madness. Play the players where they're most effective. When
Um,
Gavardia does madness at left back, I have nothing to say
Hamza,
because he's not supposed to
Hamza,
be there.
you
Foden
said
is not supposed to be there in
Bernardo's
the
having
wing.
a better season than
I'm gonna check
Foden.
this Phil Foden position. I think he doesn't have a position for Man City. That's a problem. I think that's the greatest
Hamza.
manager in the world.
Hamza, you said Bernardo Silva is having a better season than Foden.
Fact.
No, it's not fact. They both of me garbage. All of them. Both of
No,
them.
Bernardo Silva has been bought, but Phil Foden, how many?
Bernardo
he's
Silva
played-
is
Let me see. I'm not
garbage.
crushing. I think if I don't criticize Phil Foden, that means his standards gone down. I swear. That
No,
means I'm accepting Phil Foden as a mediocre player. I'm
Yeah, you
putting
have
Phil
to.
Foden as a pedestal at that great player. Why are you not delivering?
You have to
Why you
criticize
not
everyone.
Huh? I'm looking at statistics here.
Where is Daniel?
He's-
Daniel.
Daniel. Bernardo Silva. I want to see how many. Bernardo Silva has played a lot of games. A lot of games this season.
What does that mean?
He's been
Played
the
a lot of
most-
games.
Undeservedly so.
Huh?
What does that mean?
He has played a lot of games undeservedly so. He shouldn't have been playing so many minutes, as far
I
as I'm
agree that he needs
concerned.
to be bent. I agree he needs to be bent. He's
He
played
needs to be
46
sold,
games.
Hamza. Not to be benched. He needs to be sold.
This season, Bernardo Silva has played 3,634 minutes. Phil Foden has played 2,800. He's played
Because the manager
800
wants him.
minutes. He's played 10 more games than Phil Foden, and he's older. And this is the
Because the
guy.
manager wants to play them. Hamza.
Martin, I've sent you the link. It's in the group chat. Listen, because I want to.
He's not in the group chat though.
10 minutes time because I promised him. I wanted to ask about these questions. There's a lot of problems I've been saying. Yeah, I keep
Right, let me
saying.
send it to Martin.
Yeah, send it to Martin. There's
Yeah.
a lot. And Phil Foden to me had a shocker. He had to be subbed off. He got dragged out by Pep Guardiola, but people don't want to say it. So it's either Pep was wrong or Phil Foden was good. KDB, I think he showed everything, and I'll give KDB. He was one of our best players in that game. Kovacic was one of our best players, and I'm being big critical for Kovacic. I'll give him credit today. But I'm seeing Daniele.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Daniele?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you've got to you've got you on to stream, bro. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Daniele. Is Daniele
Yeah.
there?
Can
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah, I want to hear from your opinion.
Bernardo did something during the game where he received the ball and he could have played it forward, and he took a step and he turned backwards, and it killed the momentum at that instance.
He does it every game, Daniel.
Yeah, at
What
that
He
is
does
moment,
it every
Saturday?
game.
I was just like, what is the point on the guys making runs?
Daniel,
If
he does
Ber-
it every game. Every
Bernardo
single
sees
game he does
it's
it.
frustrating. Bernardo sees him and he doesn't say anything at all. And I'll tell you what's even worse. We've been conditioned to believe, because they talk about GA, GA, GA. And I was in a Barca space and they said something very interesting about Pedri. And it was a valid criticism.
I've sent to you, Martin, on X. Check your.
We have been conditioned to believe that Bernardo should not be held accountable with GA. He does not provide GA. He runs his tail off. I get it. There's a positive to that.
Yep.
But if you are not providing me GA to help me win a game, you're hurting me.
Fact.
You are hurting me. And it's just like if we're walking there, 11 guys on the pitch, you're not going to score goals. Are you going to create and provide assists by going forward? No. Then that's unreasonable. Bring a player that will move the ball forward.
I
Bring a
do,
player
do,
that will
do you
score
know why
goals.
he plays? Do you know
The-
why he plays? And I
well,
keep
he's
telling you,
he's
yeah.
he's he's Pep's favorite. Bring a player
No,
that will create chances. It's just it's
not just
frustrating.
that. It's because Bernardo Silva, over the past 2 seasons, he has mastered the art of looking busy on the football pitch. And you, every single fan, every time I call him out, I've got an agenda. I've been telling you, the guy there, watch it from the moment we kick off the game. He drops off between two defenders, pretend he's building up the play, whilst he's just passing sideways back to the
And
defenders.
Mateus, I'll build with you on that, and I
He's
hope
not doing anything. You can't.
fans can understand why I was pep out,
The
and I'll
only thing
say
he's
this.
done today, put a good cross to Helen Haaland. He actually that was actually a decent
Hamza, I have one
cross.
question for you.
Wait, hold on. Let me just finish my
Yeah,
point.
Joe.
One of the reasons why I was also pep out at that point is because of what Mateus just said. We've got too many players on the squad that are programmed. They need to be deprogrammed. They either need to go or they need someone else to come in, a different voice used to compete with them to be deprogrammed. Otherwise, Bernardo is not going to do what what is different. He will take the orders that Pep gives him. Foden will do what Pep tells him to do. Gundogan will do what Pep tells him to do. The guys that come in that are new, they will do what Pep tells them to do because they're new and they will not second guess. And those that are on the bench will not get a fair opportunity. And if they are given one, they will do what the manager tells them to do.
The
They
only
are
one who does whatever they want is KDB.
is KDB, and there's a risk to that. And Echeverry, if you've seen him before, that someone said he has creative chaos where he'll be willing to take a chance in chaos to create a chances. Not a lot of players are willing to do that. That was one of my concerns because the longer a manager hangs on in a club, if you don't refresh it, if you don't rebuild it, the message becomes the same, becomes complacent. And if you don't compete for the spots, it becomes an automatic fail. So they're complacent. They don't have to necessarily um, go into games with the fear of being subbed out early because there's a comfort level that they have with the manager, and also the trust with the manager, which I understand is fine, but it's just it gets stale. And I don't know if Pep, this is where it gets even interesting because the person going through that may not even really understand what he's going through because he's not on the outside, he's on the inside. And that's my concern. And so if you're going to have a cycle, and I think I put this in the chat with Gundalorian, I think there will be a fight between Pep and Viana at some point in the future. Tiki is a bridge between the two. The transfers that still need to get done and the players that need to go out or the buys. But I think there will be friction because Viana is going to have his vision on how the squad needs to be built, and the players that he's going to be bringing in, there's going to be an expectation that they get used. Pep is going to use the players that he trusts. We've seen that, we've known that he's going to do that. There is going to be tension, and if Tiki's not there, we know Pep wants to be the reason why this team wins sometimes, or most times. If you don't have the absence of the brilliance, and now you've got a new sporting director that's also trying to prove himself, he will ingratiate himself with Pep for a certain time. But there will be moments, because he's a human as well, where he will question why certain players are not playing, why certain players are not being given an opportunity. Or my fear, if you go into next season with Bernardo and maybe even Gundogan, with the contracts expiring, then why you're not then prioritizing integrating the players that are going to be here in the long term. That is my concern. It gets stale. There will be a point we have to start to prepare for life after some of these players. I, it's like our fan base is afraid to love new players. Our fan base is afraid to love a new manager and a different style of play. We have to get past this point. There will come a time we're going to have to love other players. Barcelona at one point had Ansu Fati as their face of their club. The minute they realized after his injuries that he was no longer the face of their club, they moved on. They loaned him to Brighton and then brought him back, and Hansi Flick and Xavi, as coaches, were not afraid what he did in the past to tell him to sit on the bench. Because when you're at that level, you make uncomfortable conversations and decisions, even if it's for the quote unquote prospect. Because if they're not giving you GA and they're not available, then what are you useful for? You go to the players that are there that do give you. It's a part of the game. You win, you get goals, you get assists, you make saves. It's that simple. Don't overthink it. Don't try and be too cute. That's to me where it's have a problem, and that's what got me to the point. Because again, I'm not
And
trying to
nearly, because
because
I'm gonna try and make it quickly because I have to join LB short
yeah,
10:30.
sorry.
I just want to give Martin and Jova quickly a chance, and then
Sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
we'll talk about it tonight properly, and I'm gonna continue tomorrow. Jovo, what did you want to say quickly?
Hamza, I know you is a positive fan. You think today the draw was on Pep or the players? Which one?
I think both. I think first the players take responsibility. Fact number one. If you're not good enough to beat Southampton, I'm sorry. I'm seeing a lot of red flags there. I knew straight away. I just said if they beat Southampton, there will be. I saw from first half, they didn't even have a shot on target. A shot on target on a team that's conceded 82 goals. No shot on target today. There's no creation. They did not even create a chance. They were that bad. And this is a player with KDB, Bernardo, Haaland, whatever it is. You got Kovacic, Diaz. But these guys are taking 200,000, 300,000 a week. Foden. None of them. Absolutely. KDB gets away with it. I saw heart from this guy. And I know he's leaving. So I have a sympathy on a guy who's leaving, who's showed more heart than the rest. He played a beautiful ball 3 times. One he cut in, Doku just needed to play in. Do you remember? That could have been a goal. He played another ball that Nico Riley nearly missed. He was the one instigating this.
You also put another ball for Foden as well.
Yeah, he did him and I'm the biggest critical coverage. But the players take 80%.
He was poor, Hamza.
Bro, Hamza, the players ain't take 80% today. Nah. First thing, the lineup was wrong today. It was on Pep for me today. It was on Pep, not the players. If Pep they start Mamouche, Savinho, Doku, and would they play this badly, it would have been on the players for my part, because he start most of the attackers and will still draw. But today he ain't start no attackers, only was Haaland and De Bruyne alone, basically.
Kevin De Bruyne, Hamza.
Martin, go on quickly. Martin, because
Kevin De Bruyne.
That's why.
Kevin De Bruyne, alongside 9 other players, were poor today. End of.
I don't think
End
so.
of. Well, we all did. We all did, Hamza.
What do you guys think? Let me see what everyone thinks. Martin, what makes you believe KDB was that bad?
Because I watched it with my own eyes.
I think he was the best of the.
He was the best of all of them.
Really?
He really wasn't.
No, but that's my opinion.
No, yeah, that's fine.
Which
I'll
is
be honest with you.
I don't think he was that
There
bad.
was in that away end today. There was uncomfortable conversations going on.
No. I'm not saying that's a comfortable conversation. Martin, a comfortable conversation can be in any way.
Hamza, get one more question for you.
It's football opinion. There are also people saying that KDB actually did okay.
And that's fine.
KDB is leaving anyway. We need to talk about the players that are staying. KDB is leaving, whether he dropped the steam or not. Irrelevant.
And Rico Lewis.
And Bernardo Silva, Hamza.
Bernardo later on.
I will say this, right? This rebuild is going to take a lot longer than one summer. And
One
people need to
question.
get to terms with that.
One question
Why,
for the
why would
panel.
it take longer than one summer?
They spent 200 million. They spent 200 million, and they still haven't got any single solution from that 200 million in the south. That's already a red flag, Martin.
Martin, would you
Right.
keep Bernardo Silva in the summer?
Right. This isn't a thought this was a show. I didn't.
Martin's traveling, I think.
Hamza, would you keep Bernardo Silva in the summer?
If you can get Byron, sell him for
If you promise me to get me a better quality than Bernardo Silva,
say more than one summer.
Bro, we need to sell him this summer. We need to sell him, Hamza.
Yeah, Jovo, you can, but you have to get better quality than him.
I agree with you, but
What we doing here, man? What we doing here, man?
Hamza, one thing.
Sorry, I can't.
Hamza, what I don't like is that Pep will start Bernardo Silva and will play him in 90 minutes. He will never take him off. That is the problem that I have with Pep with playing Bernardo Silva. Once he play him, he will never take him off. Never. When is the last time Pep start Bernardo Silva and take him off? When is the last time?
True. But I think he's completely physically exhausted. I'm not blaming that. I think this guy, we've used and abused this guy. He's the guy that was player of the year for us in 2018.
Exactly.
He played the season twice. He is knackered. We've used and abused him, and we have this guy, I feel sorry for him. He's living out from his family, and he's still playing every 3 days. He's the only one that has been most reliable with value this season. I think you can't put him on the bench.
Hamza, that's a lot of bullshit. He's not tired.
If you get rid of him,
Bernardo Silva, I'll tell you what, to everyone on this panel, Bernardo Silva can be playing 1 game a month. The performance will be the same.
I don't believe that.
It will. So we're playing 1 game a week.
I think
that is true. It will be the same performance.
What are we doing here? It can't deliver. Hamza, the standards are here. It cannot go anymore.
I think the red flags for me is the board.
Can we hear from Martin?
Can
we hear from Martin, Hamza? Can we hear from Martin?
Hamza, I gotta go. Thanks for having me on.
Sorry, can you hear me now? I apologize. I'm traveling now.
Yeah. I'll join the LB show. Guys,
I know you gotta go. The thing is, the reason this will take longer than one summer is the amount of players we need to butch and bring. You are not going to do in one summer. That includes a Club World Cup in the middle of it. Ain't going to happen. I know that isn't what people want to wear, and people can look down and everything else. While a player is under contract, you need a buyer. And people, you can't just cancel contracts and kick out. Can't do that.
Well, you can.
We've got to. No. Let me tell you. No. Take your emotional head off. Put your business head on. Put your business head on.
I am.
It's not the way football. Right. Name me a football club that's cancelled 3 or 4 contracts that are 300 grand a week's worth.
Well, we don't need to cancel any contract. We don't need to cancel 3 or 4
yes,
contracts.
You do. Bernardo's under contract for another year.
No, it's not 3 or 4.
Right. Yeah. So if you don't have a buyer for Grealish, you don't have a buyer for Bernardo, you don't have a buyer for John Stones.
How do you know there's no buyers?
I tell you, you're asking me how do I know? Come on.
Yeah. No. I'm being serious
because
that's not my job to sell them. There's people at the football club that are paying thousands of pounds. Players, they've got their own agents. That's not my job as a football fan.
Right. Well, then I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. You're not going to sell 12 players.
No. Martin, football is really simple. If their agent...
No, it's not simple. It's not simple. It's not a computer game.
No, Martin. If their agent get on the phone, the same way there was people looking for Bernardo Silva when he was at his peak.
Do you mean when no one bid it? Do you mean, by the way, I tell you, nobody has ever bidded for it. Factually, no one has ever.
Get on the phone. they will get
No,
people to sign
see,
them, Martin.
these conversations are not going to work if they're agenda driven.
No,
Take
there's no
the agenda.
agenda,
You are.
Martin.
If you don't like Bernardo, you've got this agenda. Fine.
No. It's not about liking him. He's not good enough.
I think they
Right.
just think he's not good enough.
So,
I
right.
think they
So,
think
Matthias, if he's not good enough,
Yeah.
who's going to buy it?
No, it's not my job. That's his agent's job to find a club for him.
Oh, Benfica have already
That's
said public domain.
Martin. You want McAtee out. I never asked you who's going to buy McAtee. Why would I ask you?
Just
That's
let
not
Martin
your job.
finish. Just let Martin finish.
Come on, man.
Because there's 2 or 3 clubs already interested in McAtee.
No, Martin. You should stop asking fans who's going to. That's not fans' job, Martin. That's not our job.
Then it's not your job to sell them that. It's not your job to buy players that. So shut up signing players. Don't sign players.
Fans, it's literally right. This is not good enough. This is not good enough. We need to sell him. Who's going to buy?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not your job. That's not your job. That's not your job.
What are we doing here, Martin? You keep on asking fans. Oh, there's no.
It's not your job. It's not your job.
No, man, we don't know this. No one knows.
Matthias, right? I've never done this before, but you know how I know because I know things behind the scenes. So let's not do this.
No, Martin, what are we doing here? Come on, man.
Martin, if Man United are able to sell their players,
you told everyone that in order to sign players, we need to get rid of players. Well, we just got 4 signings and only one went out the door.
Matthias, can I speak instead? You're just being all emotional and you're jumping. Look at you. You're one step away from throwing a rattle out. Relax. Chill.
Martin, today.
My word.
No. So, go on, Martin. Sorry, big up, Martin.
Chill out. Relax yourself, mate.
I'm chill, bro. It just when I hear things that doesn't really make sense, I have to react to it.
No, they don't make sense. But Benfica and Daniel will tell you this. We're already on record. They cannot afford to buy him. He is out of contract in 2026. If you're Benfica and you're a clever club, you go, tell you what, wait 12 months, sign on a freebie. In you come.
Guys,
that is true.
Continue this later
Would you not do that? Would you not do that? If you think we're going to sell Ake, and you think we're going to sell Stones, and you think we're going to sell Bernardo and Gundogan and everyone else, then you are living in cloud cooking. You are. I'm sorry, but you are.
Okay, so and on that basis, then we're not selling anyone.
Yeah, no, we have to. Because Man United,
yeah, of course, of course you'll sell. Like McAtee, Nottingham Forest and Leverkusen are interested. Edison, you can sell. There are 3 Saudi clubs. Kovacic, he has interest from Turkey. You can potentially sell there.
What if Kovacic doesn't want to go?
Well, then you can't do anything because he's under contract.
So we keep the same players going to next season.
But this is why Danielle said about the squad building over the last few years. We've got to look at. That's why I'm saying it is not a simple hit the summer, 12 in, 12 out. It's not that simple.
We're not talking about.
I know
12.
that isn't what people want to hear.
We're not talking about 12 or 10. We're talking about 5.
I don't think you're getting 5 outfield players in the summer. I think you'll get 3 or 4, 2 goalies.
Martin, have you arrived in Manchester yet? I'm going to go to...
The thing is, today was crap. Wasn't good enough. And yes, part of it was on Pep. As I said this earlier on, a team that has 26 shots and 5 on target, I'm questioning the players a little bit there as well. You need to improve your finishing. And I'll tell you what, there is an uncomfortable conversation about this. We have a goal scorer person who plays musical statues in a box. You got to move a bit more. He's got to move a little bit more. He's standing still.
Can't believe we're playing.
Do you remember
Martin, one second.
Does anyone remember all them 5
One
shots?
Mateus, because I've got to LB show. I'm going to start a space after half an hour. This, we need to continue this, man.
No, I'm not. I'm avoiding spaces all week. I'm having a space-free week. No spaces.
Mateus, I need you on space. You and Daniele. because this is getting
Martin, you
worse.
know you're gonna be there. We'll see you there.
I'm not.